Good evening, fine folks of the universe. Welcome to Respawn and Fire, the Kick-Ass Reverend Gaming Podcast from Affable Idiots. I'm your host, Adam, running the world, Gumbert. Today we have with us, I'm going to you last because of that, Chad, you're my favorite guy, Michael Ennis.
Oh, man, could you tell that was you talking during that? Because I was moving my mouth to match your words so that no one could tell who was speaking.
It's pretty good.
Our voices are identical, yeah.
And we also have with us, Alex keeps moving his fingers at the camera, Cozina.
I was moving my fingers this way to indicate the fact that it is snowing. It's snowing. All the snow has come to Montreal as of yesterday afternoon. Hello, Adam. Hello, Chad.
You took all the snow?
Yeah. It's
No, I've
snowing
got
a whole
it down
lot
here too. No, I got a lot.
I don't know if you all know this.
Yes.
It is snowing in Charlotte, North Carolina, as well as my actual address where I grew up, which is Mint Hill, North Carolina, right outside the city limits of Charlotte, on my mom's birthday right now today.
Whoa, happy birthday,
Yeah.
Chad's mom.
Apparently the last time it has snowed on this date or this early in that area was 68 years ago or something. So close.
Chad, I want you to go up to your mom today. I want you to tell her that Cozy wishes her a happy birthday. I really just want to make sure that you absolutely do that.
She lives 2,300 miles away, but I could
FedEx
probably text her, but I won't.
A VR headset, go into VR chat, go into any of those VR games where you can just hang out together and be like,
She's going to get sexually assaulted if she goes into VR chat. That's just like bare minimum. That's what happens.
Only if she wears one of the cute anime avatar figures. If she wears literally anything else.
You're right.
She's
You're
fine.
right. It's all because of what she's wearing. She's asking for it, right? Because
Yeah, that's Cozy's rules.
Yeah.
That's how he lives. You can catch us live on twitch.tv/RespawnAimFire Monday evenings at 8:30 Eastern Time. YouTube and podcast services Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Housekeeping, some things today. All our individual Pody Goaty Barf polls have ended, so we know the games we're going to play for Game of the Year consideration for the end of the year. Those being... What are they, y'all?
Do we remember? Mine is Hell Is Us. Also Sea of Stars DLC.
I just need to know Joel's.
Patreon.com/RespawnAndFire pulled up right here, right now. I had a momentary brain fart as we were saying that, and I realized, that was my cue. My end of the year poll, I asked you to vote between The Alters, Monster Train 2, Despelote, and Dispatch, and you all voted for me to play The Alters, which I have already beaten, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. In Chad's poll, you voted. He asked for you to vote between the Sea of Stars DLC, Throes of the Watchmaker, Keeper, Dispatch, and Hell Is Us. And Chad, you decided to go with, because Hell Is Us and Sea of Stars DLC were tied.
Yeah, I decided to go with Hell Is Us because I was Hell Is Us curious, and also I was probably going to play the Sea of Stars DLC anyway, so...
Adam asked you to vote between Jurassic World Evolution 3, Dispatch, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance, and they all agreed to go with Shinobi Art of Vengeance. And finally, for the first time ever, Joel joined the fray with a Pody Goaty Barf poll of his own. He asked you to vote between Donkey Kong Bonanza, Ghost of Yote, The Outer Worlds 2, and Dispatch, and they voted for Dispatch. Lassie is not here to talk about Dispatch today, but perhaps there will be some Dispatch impressions a little bit later. Wink, wink.
Ooh, winks, huh?
Winks,
Very
winks.
fun.
I remember, is there a fairy show called Winx, like WINX or something like that? I feel like there's a cartoon
Winx Club
show.
or something like that.
It was one of those, it was done in an
that's what it
anime
is.
style, but it was produced in Italy, I want to say.
Oh.
You know those Italians can't animate. You can go to patreon.com/RespawnAndFire for After Dark episode 10, early access to that, where we talk about, you don't get to know unless you're on Patreon. It's a big secret, but it's fun.
Hey, you can tell this was produced by a country where they are primarily white, because I'm going to name some characters of fairies, and you tell me which one's the black one. How about Bloom, Flora, Musa, Sky, Aisha, Which one's the black one?
Why don't they just have a normal woman's name in there? That is crazy. Oh my god!
I'm gonna say Bloom. I'm gonna say that it's
wrong.
Bloom. Nope.
Aisha.
Oh man.
Your ignorance is showing.
Wow.
And then the Rafter Dark episode with Brian Bridges is out for everybody. Enjoy that. It's a good time. Moving on to our first story for the day. PlayStation Portal gets a big ol' update. It's a big boy now. They activated features that weren't there before, allegedly, from Chris Scullion at VGC. Cloud streaming has officially arrived on PlayStation Portal devices after being in beta for a year, as well as the continued ability to play select games from the PlayStation Plus game catalog and classics catalog. They officially launched cloud streaming feature also adds the ability to play select digital PlayStation 5 games from the player's own library without needing to connect to their console via remote play. According to Sony's full list of cloud-supported games, a total of 2,793 games from the PlayStation Store can be streamed on the portal via the cloud if the player owns the game. For PlayStation Plus Premium members, a further 196 games from the PlayStation Plus catalog and 107 from the Classic catalog can also be streamed, as well as 75 free-to-play titles. All that to say, that thing that was only a remote play device can now be a cloud streaming device.
Very nice. I don't think I'm ever going to pick this thing up because so often whenever I'm traveling, whenever I'm out and about, and it's not to a remote country, every way which where, usually it's me going to my cottage in the Eastern Townships where we don't really have very good internet access / coverage. And so it doesn't really make sense for me to have a device that is entirely contingent on streaming content to it. That said, I'm very curious to see where Sony announces their next portable handheld device and to what degree it will or it will not be a cloud streaming device as well. Because if I can just download things normally to that particular device, I've seriously considered that will probably be my next major video game hardware purchase. We talked over the course of the past couple of episodes about how over the past 2 years, I've really been out of the PlayStation Platinum earning game, and I want to get back in the game. And if I can finally do that remotely again and don't have to bust out my PlayStation Vita, which has just been collecting dust as of recently under just a whole stack of games in one of my drawers, I absolutely will do so with this upcoming hypothetical handheld console. So yeah, pretty cool, but this particular thing is going to be a pass for me for the time being.
Chad, as one of the people on the podcast, the only person on the podcast who owns a portal, exciting? You're going to use it more or less? Does it make a difference? Do you think this is anything interesting for the future? What are your thoughts as the man who buys everything that PlayStation puts out?
Let me take you back to January 7th, 2014.
He's going to take you back to the past.
January 6th, 2021. To play the
shitty games that suck ass he'd rather have.
January 7th, 2014, PlayStation announces the fruits of its Gaikai purchase. PlayStation Now is coming to stream your games from PlayStation 2, 3, and 4 consoles and PlayStation Vita. And I was so excited. I got into that open beta. I was streaming shit, but then I very quickly realized, I'm streaming a handful of games that PlayStation wants me to stream, not my digital library of games that I started building at the end of the PS3 era by turning in all my physical discs into GameStop and getting shit credit for them so that eventually my PS3 games digitally will just play on my PS4, right? And then as PlayStation Now grew and Game Catalog happened, and now PlayStation Plus game catalog streaming for the last year has been just a select catalog of games. Finally, after 11 years, I can stream the games that I bought digitally the way that I want to stream them. I'm not limited to just the ones that PlayStation tells me I can stream. Well, I am limited to the 2,700 whatever that are supported. But still, it's not just a particular game catalog. It is your games, whether or not they're on the PlayStation Plus catalog or not, which is it feels like I finally, as a little baby boy, have gotten everything that I need to get, and it's amazing, and I can't freaking wait. And also, I'm not going to even use it pretty much ever. That's a lie. I am going to use it when I go to North Carolina for the holidays, because last year I brought my PlayStation. And that was a big old hassle. That was basically like 3/4 of a checked bag was a PlayStation. And then it's always, oh my God, is it going to get damaged? Is it going to get lost? Is it going to, I'm wrapping it up in towels and sweatshirts and shit. No, I'm just going to bring my Portal now. And I can stream and cut out half the latency of having to stream from my PlayStation, but now just stream from the cloud. So it's great. I also hate that it's limited to, I get it. You got to keep up server costs and all that shit. I hate that it's tied to the PlayStation Premium $45,000 a year service that I just so happened to have until June, because I can't upgrade 1 month at a time, and I had to upgrade the remaining amount of my membership because it was either pay $30 for Sword of the Sea or pay $30 to upgrade the rest of my membership for 7 months to PlayStation Premium. So I have access to this. Yes, I also have not unboxed. Like, my Portal is still in the same box that I packed it in when I moved at the end of July. So I have not actually taken that out of the box and updated it and tried it yet. But I will in about a month when I go to old North Carolina for a few weeks.
You going to play Cookie Clicker with that PlayStation Portal?
I will not click cookies, probably. I might be playing a little bit of Destiny.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Episode, or that Star Wars update's coming out.
You're saying there's a chance.
Maybe.
Ooh, 25%, 30%, 40%.
I don't want to put a number on it because I don't want to tease you.
43%, 44%.
Ooh, you're getting close. Let's say you're plus or minus percent.
Are we done? Can we move on?
Yeah, we're done. Yeah, no,
we need to guess how much.
I like this. I also, the UI that they released for it apparently has there are 3 different areas. There's you can now stream, then you can now remote play, and then there's settings or something like that. But I'm that paired with the there's now a cross-buy icon that's that was data mined from a store update or something like that, or assets or something like that. It was are they playing around with a UI for a potential dedicated handheld that maybe there's cross-buy that's PC based, and maybe there's a PlayStation Store that's PC related, and maybe I can buy. This is me going down a whole rabbit hole. It's maybe I do finally have an excuse to buy a freaking Xbox Ally Series X ROG Ally X, so that I can play all my PlayStation library on that. Maybe I'm hoping this is just a little breadcrumb of a much larger loaf then.
Perfect analogy.
Yes.
No notes.
Yes.
All right, very good. Moving on to playtime. Talking about playtime, things we have been playing. Cozy, you tell me all about this fascinating lineup of things you have written down here.
Before I talk about what I've been playing, did you look at what Chad has been playing, and did you go, all right, we're going to save Chad for last because he is making no sense anymore?
No, I always enjoyed trying to figure out Chad's little puzzles. That's always a good time for me. Yours are out there, so I picked you. Also, I'm interested in the last one specifically.
Before I talk about some of the games that I've been playing, I want to talk about some of the amiibos that I've been purchasing as of recent.
Whoa.
So last week, the impossible happened. Hell froze over because Nintendo released a new trailer for Metroid Prime 4 that was actually not that bad. It was called Metroid Prime 4 Survive or Survival, whatever it was called. They released a new trailer for Metroid Prime 4, and I actually thought it did a good, serviceable job of actually selling the Metroid Prime 4 Cervixable, the most well-known cat that inhabits the tundra or wherever it is that cervixes live. Did a good job of
wrong
selling.
cervix, buddy.
No. It's called a cervix or a cervix. I'm 100% confident
I hope
there's
to
an
God
actual
there is a Metroid enemy
cat
called the cervix
that has a name that kind of sounds like that. When Chad talks about the bullshit that he's going to talk about, I'll look it up. They released a trailer for Metroid Prime 4.
Final Fantasy ass lightning cat.
I'm sure that Final Fantasy ass lightning cat is probably based off of the real life cat that I'm referring to. Nintendo released a trailer for Metroid Prime 4. It was not that bad. I personally like I will always come down on really loving the incredibly cool cinematic trailers in the vein of the kind of stuff that people like Hideo Kojima look out. I'm a little sad that we're probably never going to get a trailer like that, not just for Metroid Prime 4, but just for the Metroid Prime series going forward. It doesn't really seem like it's in Nintendo's interest to market their games that way because they've always been a little bit more gameplay first. Nonetheless, it was a solid trailer, and it made me decide, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to pick up the 2 new Metroid Amiibos that they've been releasing piecemeal for this game. So
Whoa, they're already
I
out?
realize they are going to be putting out 3 Amiibos for the game, and they already have released the first 2. So I'm going to try to hold these correctly so that people at home can see. Amiibo number 1 is Samus Aran in her Varia suit with like a few psychic upgrades already imbued within the suit. You can see it via the kind of like third eye little icon that's on the kind of top of her helmet right over there.
Some of them call them the Whispering Eye.
And I also got, and I gotta hold this up carefully so people can see it. I got the Samus Aran with her like more advanced red psychic suit and Viola, her bike. That's what it's actually called. It's called Viola, but it's spelled VID-O-LA, which we saw her riding around on some of the trailers for quite a bit. So here's what I'll say. Very impressed with the quality of these 2 particular amiibos. Just to kind of like use as a point of comparison, I grabbed some of the like older Generation 1 amiibos just to kind of use as a point of comparison for tonight's episode. And like looking at some of these older amiibos that we've gotten in the past, it's really apparent that like, oh, these amiibos, these specific like poses for these amiibos were not designed with amiibos in mind. Clearly, they came up with these poses when they wanted to create the renders for these characters for Super Smash Bros. 4, which is a game that they were like created and released alongside. And as a result, they just don't look all that great. Samus Aran is kind of like leaning. She's supposed to be perfectly straight, but she always leans a little bit to the side in this particular pose. Zero Suit Samus has like this like kind of ugly, like plastic
like shitting glue.
Yeah, glue shit that's keeping her up. The most infamous one from like the early Generation 1 amiibos is the Link standee that has like the piss block that's keeping him in place.
You know those sicknesses that you have where you piss out your ass, but also that when you're dehydrated as well? It's that.
It's not great. Again, you can tell that like they designed this pose in mind as something that would look really good as a render for Smash 4, but it obviously doesn't look really good as an amiibo. But the poses that they came up with here for these amiibos, really fantastic, and just the sheen, the overall level of detail on them, I'm very pleased with it. I'm very, very pleased with them. Now, I say all that, and I have a little bit of a caveat. Chad, can you give me a song for a segment that I'm calling Segment from Cozy in What You've Been Playing?
Segment from Cozy, what you been playing? Segment from Cozy for what you been playing. That's the like pirate ship theme from Donkey Kong Country 2.
How many Canadian dollars do you think I paid for these 2 amiibos?
Combined?
125.
Remember,
Adam says 125.
Yeah, but Canada boats are fake money, so that's more
But
expensive.
you know what? They probably do import them into one central spot in North America and then ship them up to Canada. So they probably do pay tariffs. So I'm going to guess. Would you guess 125, Adam?
125 Canadian is what I guessed.
I'm going to guess 110 Canadian.
Via Price is Right rules, Chad wins. The actual answer is $80 Canadian, which, make no mistake, is not as much as $110 or $120, but is still a lot of money. And yet there is part of me that is wondering if I should still get a second copy of each, so I can have like the one copy that I'll keep in the box and the other copy that I can take out of the box. And I hope that you guys can dissuade me out of that, but maybe you also want to see me go bankrupt. So we'll see where this episode goes.
Don't do that. That's literally a waste of your money.
I can DoorDash you a Metroid Beyond Samus amiibo for $30 right now.
Well, it's not bad.
Or I can buy
DoorDash
you the Volvo
all the way to Canada?
motorcycle one for $39.99.
No, she's called Viola, Chad. I don't know. It sounds like you guys aren't really committing very hard to trying to dissuade me out of this.
the Jello and the pudding. And
Listen, you're a grown man. If you want to waste your money on plastic toys, go for it.
All right. Well, Adam has officially taken his stance. He's encouraging me to be fiscally irresponsible. We can have that on record.
Fiscal responsibility is in the eye of the beholder. You are that's a collector's item.
Outside.
You are TY Beanie Babies right now. Like you are get that Princess Di Bear.
Oh, I'm not gonna like sell these later on down the road. I'm keeping these forever, Chad.
Well, then
I'm
why
not
do you
gonna
want
let
a second
anyone
copy?
get their grubby hands on my Samus Aran figurines. Outside of amiibos that I've been purchasing and or may purchase in the future, I also have played and beaten The Altars. Now, I'm not going to go super in-depth into my time with The Altars because although we're not going to do a traditional like isolated barf review for our individual Hody Gody barf games, I do want to perhaps have an episode later down the road after I come back where we can sort of chunk out a good amount of time on the podcast just talking about our time with these 4 games that you voted on us to play. What I will say right now is I really enjoyed my time with The Altars. It might be one of my favorite narrative experiences of the entire year. I do think that the quality of the narrative presented within it varies a little bit in that I think that the game has a lot of really bright spots early on in the first and second acts. And I think that the game has a little bit of difficulty sustaining that level of quality as things go further on. That aside, I really loved it from start to finish. And I encourage everybody here that loves, everybody listening if you love a good narrative experience, you definitely deserve to check out The Altars. The Altars is not obviously an exclusively narrative experience. It is also this base building, resource gathering game. But I can assure you, as somebody who is not particularly keen on either of those genres, that those 2 aspects of the game did not particularly detract from my overall experience playing it. In fact, I found those 2 parts of the game to be pretty enjoyable. And so I will leave it at that. Last game that I've been playing is a game that has been releasing episodically and will receive its final 2 episodes this coming Wednesday. That game is, of course, Dispatch from Ad Hoc Studio, made up of former Telltale developers. As people know from prior episodes of the podcast, I'm going to be leaving in a couple of days, this coming Thursday, the 13th, to go to Slovenia, a great country in Central Europe that shares a border with Italy, but everyone forgets that it shares a border with Italy. And so what I've been trying to do, I'm only going to be taking my Switch 2 with me on the trip. And so I've been trying to catch up on and complete as many games as possible that are only available on the other consoles. And so I was like, what other big game that seems like it might have Game of the Year potential do I want to check out? And then I remembered, oh yeah, Dispatch. It's only available on PC and PS5 right now, and the last 2 episodes literally come out the day before I leave. So let's check it out. Purchased it yesterday, and I have already cruised through the first 4 episodes.
Whoa.
Episodes in Dispatch are not all that long, which is 100% a positive in this particular case, and I am really enjoying what Ad Hoc has managed to put together with this particular game. I think that it tells a really fun, occasionally kind of sexy superhero comedy narrative story. Really been enjoying getting to know the entirety of my team. Obviously, Invisigirl is kind of the favorite of the entire party. She's the character voiced by Laura Bailey. But all the other characters kind of that's part of your entourage are really fun to get to know. And I've been enjoying both the kind of like traditional Telltale, like narrative decision making component of the game and the like whole dispatch of it all, what the game is literally named after, where you have to dispatch superheroes to various issues and episodes that are happening around town. And you have to figure out the best ways to dispatch them and, you know, kind of keep the peace, is actually a surprisingly fun little mini game in of itself. I didn't expect that to, you know, particularly stand out as much as the more traditional Telltale-y aspects of the game, but I've been enjoying that as well. Have a few mixed feelings on perhaps some of the choice in UI graphics that are used in some of those segments. I think that there are a couple of areas where I'm like, the production values on the game could maybe be a little bit stronger. But that aside, I've really been enjoying Dispatch. I think it's a great time so far.
Dope. That was on all 4 of our barf game polls. So I know we're all like have a passing interest in playing it. And the more that I see people talk about it, I am just like, yeah, I'll probably play that too. I might end up.
You're probably just going to play it anyways, right?
Yeah. I was going to say, I think like if there's a single game in both of your respective barf polls that you should just go ahead and play, even though it didn't win, Dispatch is definitely it. In large part because it has been just zooming by, and that's partially because they spin a really good yarn that kept me engaged and motivated to keep going. But also, each episode is quite short. It's about as long as like I don't know, like an episode of like Marvel television or any of these other superhero TV shows as of late.
Dope. All right, Chad, tell me what these long letters are.
Oh, let's get the Pmons out the way. Starting with that's Crystal. Pokemon Crystal. Y'all know after I beat Pokemon ZA, I was like, all right, let me play a little bit of Crystal. And I just wanted to mention like how impactful the time mechanic was. It's been so long since I played. In fact, I don't even think I ever beat Pokemon Silver. Like I was a little tiny baby child with a little preteen penis at the time. And I had never beaten it. So I didn't even take into consideration. I probably never even played it at night. So I never even like took into consideration the effect that day and night cycles have on it. And and playing Pokemon Crystal, which I now mostly play because I'm a grown adult with work. I now mostly play at night before bed. You know, I got all the way past the first gym and like was about to go to the next place. And I was like, let me see what this what other Pokemon I could be getting here, because I'm running into a lot of the same shit that I've get in Gen 1, and then I found out, a bunch of this shit only spawns in the daytime, or some of these things spawn in the morning. I was like, okay, cool. Let me go see if I can just change the time on my Pokemon Crystal. And y'all, it's a fucking, they do not want you to be messing with the time. Like they want you to set the time once, and then you are like, that is the time that you are living in for the rest of your playthrough for this game. Because I found out to change it, first of all, they tell you when you set the time, they're like, is it daylight savings time? And I could never remember, like, is it daylight savings time now, or does daylight savings time start in November? I can't remember. So like I answered, I guess, wrong. And then they say, cool, make sure to update it for daylight savings time. There's nowhere to fucking do that. And then to change the time at all, you have to like go to the main menu. You have to like go to the start menu. And then you have to put in a weird button combination. And then you have to enter in a password that is unique based on your character's level, the time played, the amount of money that you have. And then it randomly, well, not randomly, like based on that information, it generates you like a 6-character password. And then you put all that in, and then you're able to reset the time. And I was like, holy shit, they did not want people fucking with things. You actually have to play in the night or the daytime in order to catch these mons. So just throwing that out there.
Nintendo needs to go and fix that stat. They need to go back into the old code of Pokemon Crystal and fix it immediately.
On my cartridge specifically.
Yeah, they need to go to Chad's house and be like, we're here for the Crystal game. And you're like, oh shit, don't hurt me. And they take the game and they plug it into some old like rotary telephone computer, and they beep, boop, beep. And then they fix it. And they're like, all right, we're good. And then they leave in like a giant armored truck.
God, do you remember though, like legit in the early days of Pokemon, like the first generation games in Japan, if you like won the contest to get Mew, because Mew you could not catch in the game, you could only get it via like special giveaways. If you won the contest, you had to actually mail in your Pokemon cartridge, and then they would take it out, put it in a Game Boy, trade you a Mew in it, and then mail it back to you. Like that was legit the way they did things.
I would have been so concerned about like losing the thing, getting lost in transit, losing my progress. Real quick. I said I would come back to this, and I've come back to it.
Okay, the stupid cat.
The serval, according to Wikipedia, is a small cat native to Africa. It is widespread in sub-Saharan countries where it inhabits grasslands, wetlands, moorlands, and bamboo thickets. Across its range, it occurs in protected areas, and hunting it is either prohibited or regulated in range countries. So yeah, serval exists. I wasn't lying.
All right. I'm thinking of Coeurl, Coeurl, however the fuck one pronounces that, which is a cat-like enemy in Final Fantasy. that has like electrical abilities and like big old long whiskers and shit. So I was kind of on the right track, as close as Cervix
you were
was.
Yeah, cervix, the lower narrow end of the uterus, parentheses womb, that connects the uterus to the vagina, birth canal.
There you go. We all learned something about pussies. 3 different types of pussies today.
I'm looking at the finalfantasy.fandom.com entry for the coral. The coral was 100% inspired by the serval. Like they look very similar to each other, right down to their patterned markings on like their head and body. So for sure it was inspired by it.
Well, so my other one here is I mentioned last time that I have beat Pokemon ZA. I completed the Pokedex and I thought I was done. And then Pokemon goes and drops a trailer for the new DLC coming out, which they were like coming out sometime before the end of February. Turns out, boom, dropping in 1 month from my mother's birthday.
Whoa.
Which is today, which means December 10th is this DLC coming. And they detail, oh yeah, here's not just a little bit about the DLC, but also here's all the new Pokemon that are going to be part of this like weird portal alternate dimension version of Lumio City that you're going to in short spurts that Hoopa's making possible. And all of these Pokemon in there are going to be like level 120, 150, 160. And so it really gave me an excuse to be like, oh, maybe I should go back and like do a few more battles and like power up my current Pokemon. Log in. Fucking season 2 of the Link Play battles are going right now too. So boom, got my new Delphoxite Mega Evolution Stone from a couple of like 2 or 3 battles, and boom, I already ranked up enough to get that. And then there was like a whole new little side quest about capturing Diancie? Something. How do you pronounce that one? That mythical Pokemon in the little crystal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like, oh, I find it interesting that they're giving me like reasons to go back and play a little bit and get my team ready for Pokemon XY dimensions or whatever the fuck it's called.
Quick question for Adam. What does Delphox look like?
It's probably a little cartoon fox with fucking icicles or some sort of elemental thing on a fox. Probably a thing that you would be horny for.
Here's the thing. You're 50% there. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give you a lot of props. You're 75% of the way there, because it is a cartoon fox, and it's one of those Pokemon that's definitely more human-like than most. And so I would say that you're correct in stating that it makes you a little bit horny. But you got horny specifically. You got the element wrong. It's not ice type. Can you guess? You can guess either of the 2 types that this Pokemon is. You got 2 guesses.
Grass.
Grass is incorrect.
Lightning.
Lightning is also incorrect. It is fire psychic. It is a fire psychic humanoid fox that wields a branch that is on fire because it's sort of magical themed. It's a magician fire fox.
And you jack off to this how many times a week?
Oh, this one, no. I've never jacked off to this one.
This particular fox. I assume it's like based like Delphox. I assume like based off of like the oracles of Delphi, like the oracles in Greek mythology and that kind of stuff.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but here's the third game that I played this week that if you would have asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have told you there is 0 chance that I'm playing this game. And that is Arc Raiders. Y'all, whoa. I am nonstop thinking about Arc Raiders all day long. I've played 19 hours so far. Dallas and I have played about 3 hours a night every night for the last 4 nights together. And it is just so good. It is so, like, the loop is really good. The variety in it's really good. And just the experiences that you have in this PvEVP little wasteland is just so good to come back to. It's the base game is basically it's this post-apocalyptic scenario where humans live underground. Some humans have gone to space, according to some of the lore. And a lot of humans burrowed underground. Space. And there's this robot threat on the surface. No, Adam's still here.
Adam's back.
There's this robot threat on the surface called Arc. And we can go up to the surface for 30 minutes at a time. to salvage supplies from a bunch of shit before the Ark find out that we're there and they nuke everything. So that's kind of the story behind what we're doing. But you are just going up to the surface in groups of 1, 2, or 3, and you're finding garbage. It's just trash. Think of like every Fallout game, any Bethesda game you've ever played where you can walk around and pick up a spoon or a bundle of wires or a bag of potato chips or a fucking used condom, whatever it is, you can pick it up. And you go in there and you have sometimes like quests from little NPCs in your little underground bunker. Sometimes it's like your little chicken pal who goes and gathers supplies while you're gone wants a fucking lemon so that it can be better at being a chicken. And you're just going up and finding very specific trash for specific purposes. But the stakes are so high because you use some of that trash and you make one weapon that's really good at taking out the robots. But then while you're shooting a robot, some other group of people comes up to you who's also going to shoot the robot, but also wants your specific trash. And you have this moment where you have to figure out, while you're staring them in their eyes, do they want your trash bad enough that they're going to fight you? And should you fight them first before they have the chance to fight you? Should you run away? And it's such a gamble. And then oftentimes, yeah, you do die and they take your great weapon that you just spent all that trash crafting and all that kind of shit. But it's just such a good like experience. It's a big open map. Well, several. There's tons of different maps, big open maps, and you're going up there and the proximity chat experiences that you have with people. And this is the way to play it. We played with not party chat, but Discord. Me and Joel and Dallas have played a little bit, and then me and Matt and Dallas have played a little bit. And we played with party chat on and not talking to anyone else in the world. And we had a pretty good time. But then we started playing with proxy chat on. And just the wild things that happen when you have proxy chat on are just amazing. We come across this group. There's this guy that's downed and he's like waiting for his teammate to come by, but his teammate's nowhere around. And he keeps saying, oh yeah, my teammate's somewhere around here. And I'm looking around, I'm not seeing anybody. And I know that I have a quest that if I complete this particular quest, it allows me to get enough points to unlock some cosmetic. I don't know, a Band-Aid on my cheek or something. And that quest says I have to deal 115 damage to other raiders. And so this guy's like, yeah, my other person's around here. Yeah, they're going to be up here. And Dallas and Joel are asking him questions and talking to him. And then I just say, I'm so sorry, I have to do this for a quest. And I just fucking light his ass up. And it felt so invigorating. And then his friend comes by and we have to shoot his friend too, because you can't just like, that guy's not going to be okay with us having shot his friend. But then most of the time you get experiences like there was a group we came across and they were like both doing that hostile, like, oh, are you, we're friendly. And then they're like, okay, cool. We're going to help you kill this thing real quick. And then we're actually going off here to do a quest at this big tower. And you like kill a bunch of shit and unlock this elevator and it takes you all the way up the tower and there's a bunch of weapon crates. And we're like, that sounds cool. Can we come with you? They're like, yeah, sure. We get all the way to the base of the tower. We hear some gunshots off in the distance. There's another group of 6 people. So 2 other teams that found each other and decided to work together, shooting some arcs. And then they start running up to us. And then we're all screaming, we're friendly. And they're like, hey, yeah, we're friendly. And then we're like, holy shit, this is the whole server. All 12 people on the server are all coming together. And we're all going to do this tower thing together. And we go, we fight. There's a bunch of like rocketeers and things shooting at us. We all fend them off together. We go up the tower. We get to the top. We're shooting everything there. We get in the weapon crates. And then it comes time to extract. And, we're getting to the end of our 30 minutes. And there are like these dedicated extraction points where sometimes you get there with a group and you're waiting for the elevator to come or you're waiting for the metro train to come. And the other group decides, you know what? We're all sitting here waiting to escape with a bunch of good loot. Maybe I'll kill you right before the train gets here. Or maybe we'll get on the train and while you're pushing the button, I'll kill you. And so there's still that tension. But we had a secret little thing that lets us go into a little raider hatch, a little key. So, we can escape ourselves in a other little secret exit that no one else goes to. Joel has that key. And everyone gets a secret butt pocket. You put things in your butt, and even if you die or people like loot you, they can't take things out of your butt. Your butt's off limits. So Joel had his key in his butt. We're at the top of this tower. Bunch of enemies shooting. We get what we're on. All right, let's go. Joel goes to make this jump from one end of the tower to the next. Falls straight down the middle. Splat right on the ground. His corpse laying there. we're like trying to get down so that we can revive him because you have that limited window to revive him. We're trying to get all the way down as fast as we can to revive him. We don't make it in time. Dallas does make it in time though. And Joel has like now completely died. So he can't even like do comms with us. So he's texting us, wait, I have a really good blue sniper rifle on me. Take the blue sniper rifle. But Dallas is like, we don't have time. We don't have time. I just got to take your key. And we run and we get out with like seconds to spare. And it was fucking exhilarating. And there were just so many types of experiences like that we've had that are just so cool. Just a bunch of like last night, Dallas and I were playing, and there was a big Bastion monster. Like we were just running in there with free loadouts. We didn't craft anything good because we're like, one of the quests we had is like go to a random building over here and loot 2 boxes. I'm like, cool. There's no point in bringing good equipment to like kill a bunch of robots over there. So we're just going to bring a free loadout that we get with random shitty weapons. And across along the way, come across these two guys, and they're like, whoa, we're friendly. And they're like, okay. We're trying to take out a Bastion. You want to help us take out a Bastion? Fuck yeah, that sounds great. We don't have any weapons though. We got fucking these stupid shitty light weapons, and we got a shotgun, but the Bastion's 5 floors below, so shotgun shit. Anyway, so yeah, we fucking took out a Bastion, and then of course we ditched because we didn't trust them that much. We're like, we loot the thing and then we run. And then we get to the train, and they're scared of us. And there are 2 doors to get on the train to escape. They're scared of us, and they put down a little jolt mine that will electrocute people if they try to come near it at their door. I'm standing over by my door. Dallas apparently doesn't recognize that I'm standing by a door, and he thinks there's only one door. And so Dallas switches from proxy chat to just us chat, and he's like, they just put down a mine. They're going to fucking kill us. They're trying to kill us. I get on the train and he runs over there, shoots the mine. They freak out and they're electrocuted. And then they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, they just didn't want us sneaking up behind them and trying to kill them. And so just so many experiences, just like the thrill, the adrenaline of not knowing whether you're going to fucking just die after 25 minutes of gathering trash or whether you're going to escape with a bunch of people and new best friends for the rest of your life. And it's great. So yeah, played probably 19 hours of this now. I just hit level 20, which unlocks the ability to kind of prestige almost, where basically my raider, like canonically my raider, I've built up enough resources that they're actually going to go off planet. They're going to get on a rocket ship, and then I'll start a new raider with some slightly upgraded like workbenches, but everything else kind of resets. And it's a grand old time. I'm just fucking loving it. The loop is so good.
I got 2 questions for you. One serious, one less serious. Serious question. Is this a Pody Goaty for you? Is this up there with your favorites?
I think this is a Pody Goaty in terms of like, this could be... There's no way this is going to be Expedition 33 or a couple of the other games that came out this year to be Goaty, but this is absolutely like, for some people, this could be their Goaty. Like this could 100% be a Goaty. And for me, it's definitely on my probably short list of, I don't know, 3 to 5 games from this year.
Wow.
That I've played. Part of it is, I mean, it's like surprisingly fun to play single player as well, because when you're solo in a map, everyone else is also solo. So you're not going up against squads of 3. And then when you're with the squad, everyone else is squads. So solo players, like you tend to find other solo players who are like, I don't even want to interact with you. Like you ignore me, I'll ignore you. Like I was looting a box on the ground playing solo. And when you're looting, like you're vulnerable. You're looking at an inventory screen. Some guy literally runs right past me, like sprints past me 4 feet in front of my face. Could have taken me out, but he was probably just as scared of me, and he just kept running, hoping I didn't see him. So people either don't want to either fucking bother or acknowledge you, or they're like, hey, let's team up. Let's take out something, because obviously one of us can't do shit to these bigger enemies. So,
less serious question. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Cozy. I'll do mine after.
I linked to, in the chat on Video Ninja, the official Arc Raiders website. If you scroll to the very bottom, they talk a little bit about the Arc Raiders Deluxe Edition. And apparently, one of the things included in the Arc Raiders Deluxe Edition is Cowboy Scrappy, which is a chicken wearing a fedora. Who is Cowboy Scrappy?
So
Can
Scrappy
he play as a chicken?
Scrappy is your chicken. And your chicken, while you're out on patrol, is also going out there collecting like metal scraps. So you come back and like, even if you got killed and totally failed, your chickens at least brought back something for you. And it's usually just like very low level crafting supplies. So you might be able to make a couple of med kits or make a gun or something like that. So cowboy scrappy is an expensive little tiny cowboy hat for your chicken. Now, here's the thing that I'm a little peeved about. The chicken, great idea, great concept. Viewable only to you and only in your menus when you're back at the thing. Like your chicken, you never get to see it actually doing anything, and you never get to see anyone else's chicken. So this is a purely just for you cosmetic. And there are also things like, for instance, the deluxe edition gets you like the cowboy themed outfits as well as a bunch of in-game currency that allows you to buy another set. So I bought another set right now that's like this deep sea diver, almost BioShock looking, like Big Sister looking shit.
Ooh.
But it came with that whole outfit. It came with the backpack in that same theme and a little like thing that hangs off my backpack that's a mine in that same theme. But the fucking chicken helmet deep sea diver is an additional 900 currency that doesn't come in the bundle. And that's like, that little shit. It's like, come on. And I really wanted also like the chicken helmet. Like the first week there was a space helmet. It was like old Russian space suit kind of theme. And like, so the chicken had a space helmet available in the shop. I was like, I don't want to fucking buy that thing if nobody else gets to see my chicken helmet. But
I
cool.
feel
It's
like
great.
if I was
And
living,
to top all this off, it's a $40 game. Like this isn't even a full price game, which is really cool. Like I feel like this is the year of like Silk Song is $20, Expedition 33 was $50, I think, or maybe 40, and the Arc Raiders is $40. And it's just like the small. I don't know whether Embark Studios is independent. They put out the finals, but I don't know if this is technically an indie studio. But yeah, small little independent companies releasing things at lower price points and just being really good.
I feel like if I was living in the post-apocalyptic Arc Raiders future, I wouldn't keep Cowboy Scrappy around. I'd be like, all right, Scrappy, it's dinner time, and just eat him. I don't think we need to keep him around to put a hat on him.
To quote the previous mayor of New York, if I see a little bit of chicken, I'm a nibble on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Really
exactly. The former mayor of New York agrees with me that if we got chickens in the post-apocalypse, we got to eat them. Don't keep them around.
Question, Chad. With it being an extraction shooter, what are you extracting at the end of a run? And I'm assuming the good weapons you craft are a thing that you would bring with you back and forth that you'd want to keep, right?
Yeah, so this is my first extraction shooter. To be honest, I'm pretty sure this is the first extraction shooter I've ever played. And aside from the demo of FBC Firebreak, but I don't know if that counts as an extraction shooter. But you're bringing back materials that you find. So you're bringing back, like, for instance, to upgrade my gunsmith workbench to allow me to make better guns, I might need, a couple of arc alloy cores or like specific things from certain arc enemies, the robot enemies that are up there. So I might need to kill a particular big enemy and take its core and bring it back with me. Or I might need, like, for instance, to upgrade my utility or my refinery, where I could take smaller materials and refine them into one singular good material. Yesterday I had to have 3 toasters. So I went to an area of the map that had like apartment buildings, and I was just, all right, I'm going to run through here. I'm going to find some toasters. And there was a guy who was upstairs. He was running around pretending like no one could hear him. And I was like, if you're also looting these apartment buildings, there's no way we're going to have enough conversation time and like negotiate who gets the toasters. So he ran right by me into a closet and I shot him in the back of the head because I need those toasters for my refining bench. And there's I couldn't have him looting the things ahead of me. So sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's rarely guns. You rarely find guns unless you've killed somebody for their gun or you come across somebody who's already dead for some other reason. But you're rarely finding guns, and instead it's just types of crafting materials or like old antique things that you might be able to sell for money to, get you other types of materials.
Gotcha. All right. Sounds good.
And then yes, you
on.
don't want to lose them. Yeah, if you lose that shit, then it's gone and you
wasted a run.
But what I like is that once you've unlocked the ability to make one of these weapons and you kind of get to that stage of the game, and those are the types of materials that you're getting, it's like losing a pretty good gun that you've crafted is not like you could recraft that after maybe like almost on demand or like make a quick run with a free loadout. And as long as you're searching out the right things to bring back with you, you could easily make that gun again without too much hassle. So it's a little bit of a blow to your morale that fuck, I just died and I lost that great thing that I brought with me. But also it's like you can make another one without too much work.
All right, very cool. Yeah, I'm looking to check that out. People are excited about that one. As far as me, I'm going to do these last two because they play into each other. So I have been playing Resident Evil 4.
Oh.
Spooky game for Adam?
For the first time ever, I've never played Resident Evil 4 in my life.
Oh, we've got a great Barf episode for you to go back and listen to after you're done.
You're talking about the remake that came out recently.
The OG.
No. Really? Okay.
That is what the person requested that I do is play the original Resident Evil 4. Obviously, it got like re-released in like 2016 for like Xbox One, PS4. So that's the version I'm playing. But it is the original version, not the remake. And the reason I'm doing that is because... So, I appeared on the Story Motors podcast last week.
Yes.
The thing that Cozy always tries to brag about. So I'm like, let me go do it instead and be better. And Mr. Hawks agrees that I'm a better guest than you. I didn't want to say it out loud, but he did say that to me privately.
Wow, we're going to have some words in the Story Motors podcast Discord.
Oh, very good. But I went on there to talk about Hades 2. So check out Story Motors podcast. I talked about Hades 2. Yeah, it was a good time. But on that episode, I revealed that I'm doing a new secret project. Ooh, a new secret thing. Yeah. And maybe I'm playing Resident Evil 4 for that new secret thing.
Oh.
Ooh. So those two things.
Are you going to start cosplaying as Ada Wong? Is that your secret project?
No.
You're going to wear a red skimpy dress to PAX East next year?
I don't have the body to be Ada Wong. Come on, let's be honest.
Have you been playing through every video game that has a mutated crocodile or some kind of crocodile enemy?
Let me tell you about
I played a whole
Lies of
3
P
video games.
Overture.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Giant crocodile in that one.
But remind me at the end of the podcast, I do have to ask one of you guys for a favor for that new thing I'm doing. Anyways.
Is it because you have to play some sort of multiplayer game that's not very well rated, but you need a couple more people for it?
No, because I need a logo animated and I have no idea how to do it. That's really
okay.
I'm sorry, it's not as fun as you think it is. But yeah, Story Motors podcast, check that out. I was on there. I'm going to play Resident Evil 4. You will hear about that later for whatever reason. But the main thing I've done is if you want to go to opencritic.com, if you want to go to gamesandwich.com, I played and reviewed Goodnight Universe. The embargo lifted today. My review is up.
I've been looking at this game. This is the Before Your Eyes.
Yes, it's from people who made Before Your Eyes. It's their new narrative video game. And I fucking adored it. I played it all in one sitting. It's about a 4-hour video game. It really hit me tomorrow, really well. It comes out, well, as you were listening to the podcast, it's already out. But for us, it comes out tomorrow. I give this game a 9 out of 10. I fucking love this video game. Yeah, it is. So the basic premise is that you play as a baby who has superpowers, straight up.
Babby.
Self-aware, telekinesis, has full conversations in his mind, fully understands English of everybody. And you're like, okay, that's cool. And then, I'm this baby with powers. How do I play a game as a baby who can't walk? And I have these superpowers. And that's how it starts out. And then it goes into a narrative about family, about your place in the world, all that stuff like Before Your Eyes are like, oh, there's a narrative here that's going to make you cry or whatever. And it goes some crazy places. The thing about trying to review a narrative game is not wanting to spoil it. So it's very hard to talk about. But I will say it's probably my favorite story of the year that I played in any video game. Just like... for what it does for me, for how I felt about it, I was like, oh yeah, I love this. Everything about this. The acting is great. The story is great. The themes are great. I enjoy that game a lot. And then you also get to play as a baby with superpowers, which is also a fun enough gameplay thing. It's not like the deepest gameplay in the world, but that's cool enough. So like I said, that reviews. 4 hours for me, 4.5, somewhere in there. It's not too bad.
Now that you've beaten it, do you finally know how is Babby formed?
Oh, guess what? It doesn't
cervix,
even involve a cervix.
The vulva.
Wow. Yeah, all of that stuff. No, it actually, because that's the fun thing about it. It's mystery. You're like, it's not just like, I'm going to accept the fact that I'm playing as a baby with superpowers. Even he's like, yo, this is not normal for a baby to be self-aware, right? Like, this is weird. So it's actually just a mystery game with a narrative thing about family on top of it, and it all culminates in things that I liked a lot. So yeah, Goodnight Universe.
Is it PSVR 2? Like before your eyes was?
I don't think it's VR at all. I know it has eye tracking on Switch and PC, but I don't think it's a full VR game. I also didn't play with the eye tracking stuff for what it's worth. I just played on controller because they gave me a console code, so that's what I played on. But some people played that way, and there's reviews talking about that. But just as the game that I played, I fucking adored it. So check out Goodnight Universe. People that made Before Your Eyes. Yeah,
I never finished it because I got a game-breaking bug, and they're like, "Oh, we'll patch it," and then I just didn't want to replay that whole. The
game's like an hour long.
I know, but it's like you have those emotional moments that they hit once, and then you're like, "Do I really want to do that again just to see the last 20 minutes of this game?"
Yeah, very cool.
Okay.
Okay. Check out the review. Check out the game, Goodnight Universe. My review's on GameSandwich.com. So enjoy that. That's it for me.
GameSandwich.com.
Yeah, there you go. Do you guys want to do Questlog, or you want to skip over that?
I actually have something fun to say about. Let's put it. So later in the podcast, I said we might do Cozy's question of the week. We can skip Cozy's question of the week and let's do Questlog because there's something fun I want to bring up here.
Cool. So moving on to our second story of the day, 2 big games delayed in the year 2026. This is from VGC as well. This is a quote. "Hi, everyone," Rockstar said in a statement on X. "Grand Theft Auto 6 will now be released on Thursday, November 19th, 2026. We are sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait, but these extra months will allow us to finish the game with the level of polish you have come to expect and deserve." In an interview with The Game Business, Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two, said that the company believed in the original release date of May 26, but it had to be pushed back to ensure it meets the standard it expects on the product. Did you want to stop there? Or is it the next thing that you wanted to talk about, Cozy?
I mean, I don't have too much to say about GTA 6 being delayed other than that I had actually completely forgotten that it was going to originally release on May 26th. It's one of those things where like the date never really felt real to me. It never really felt like a tangible thing that we all had to be on the lookout for. So when it was announced that it got delayed, I was like, I mean, yeah, I'm not especially surprised. Guys are going to take them time. Too bad that it seems like they're doing some union busting as of recent. We'll definitely see how things develop.
Yeah, I mean, they can delay. It doesn't fucking matter. The game's going to sell fucking 100 million copies in the first day. That does not matter. So I'm very excited for that. But yeah, take time, make it better. Second part of this, Amy Hennig's game also gets pushed. The lady who has not put out a game in 20 years, her game got delayed once again. Marvel... Man. By the way, the worst name of all time, Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra has been delayed for a second time.
0 out of 10 name. Yeah.
That's awful. Its publisher has announced back in May, the game, which was previously set to release in 2025, was officially delayed to quote-unquote early 2026. Now, in a statement posted on its official X account, publisher Skydance Games announced the game has been delayed further with no confirmed release date or window or anything. It's just getting delayed. We'll talk to you when we talk to you.
So... one would assume that they're pushing the game to have it release on the 15th anniversary of the last game that Amy Hennig released, which would be Uncharted 3. But in fact, this is a world exclusive. They're actually delaying the game so that they can eventually release it on the 100th anniversary of 1943. That's actually why it's called Marvel 1943. Y'all thought it was a dumb name, but there's actually a real logic to it. So here's what I'm going to say. Here's why I wanted to bring this up. Right now, things are pretty neck and neck on our fantasy critic. I'm currently sitting at 110 points, but I have 3 games that have yet to release on my list, which are Metroid Prime 4, Kirby Air Riders, and Luminous Rise. Chad is ahead by quite a few points. He's currently sitting at 125 points, but he only has 1 game that has yet to release and chart for him, that game being Demon School. If I manage to pull this off, if Kirby Air Riders doesn't fuck me over, and I manage to win Fantasy Critic this year, I'm pledging this right here and right now, I will draft Marvel 1943 as part of my first set of drafts next year. Because I think it would only be fair.
Why would that be fair?
Well, because I need to, if I win, I need to make it a little bit fair for everyone else next time. To get one
because
up on
you
me
have
next
such
time.
a dominating. I mean, Cozy won by 100 points, so he has to, make it harder for himself.
That's the reason why you, Adam, chose like unannounced mainline 3D platformer, Mario 3D platformer, right? You're just like,
Yeah, that's why.
I gotta make sure I get a really low score this year because I won last year.
Because I won last year, so I have to make sure I can't win this year by picking a game I assumed would come out and became Donkey Kong instead. Yeah.
I just want to make things interesting. I think it will add a little bit of strife, a little bit of
Go
drama.
for it. Joel's going to win next year anyways. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Joel still has like an empty slot. Like he hasn't even picked his
this
last
man needs to
game.
get on here. He's going to mess it up. All right, that's it for that. That means we're going to move on to...
Segment. I already did. I did that one a lot. That's Kidnap the Sandy Claus.
Can you do a Phil Collins?
From Adam, segment from Adam. Yeah, Twinkle Little Star.
Snowing in Montreal, and we have a segment from
Chad's.
Adam.
That's all good. All right, this week we're going to play a little game. It's called a Metacritic User Review Game.
Ooh, I
In
can't
this
wait.
game, I take Metacritic user reviews. They start out as very kind of obtuse and strange. I mean, they're all unhinged. And they get easier as you go along. And you tell me what the game that these people are reviewing is. And again, this is Metacritic user reviews, so it doesn't actually have to make sense. It doesn't have to be correct, but this is what I'm going with. I will give you a clue, because this game can be hard sometimes. Every one of these games is a licensed game from a movie franchise or a movie singular, whatever, right? Every one of them is a licensed game based on a movie franchise. If you give me just the name of the franchise, I will give the other person one chance to tell me the particular game or the particular system, and they'll beat you for it. If not, then you get that point. So it's not here, but let's just say
So it's a
if like,
gamble. Okay.
yeah, if we're on the second clue and Chad's like Uncharted, and again, I'm like, this is a weird one. Like say there's multiple Uncharted movies, whatever. If Chad just says Uncharted and then Cozy gives me the exact Uncharted 2 or whatever, then he would get the full point. Again, that doesn't work exactly because it's not necessarily a game based on movie franchise, whatever. But that's the point. So you can guess the franchise, and then the other person can give me exactly to take it. But again, you answer on the first one, you get 3 points. Second one, 2 points. Last one, 1 point. So all based on movie franchises. These are video games based on movie franchises. Number one.
And these are not like limited to any platform or year or time frame or anything like that.
No, these are just games based on movie franchise. I will say that, just to make it a little bit easier, the oldest one is, I think it's like 2003.
Okay.
And then up until, I think last year is the most recent one. But again, all movie tie-in, whatever kind of a thing. All right. Game number one. Review number one. And I did not correct for grammar. 3 campaigns who are all quite enjoyable. Oh, good Lord. 3 campaigns who are all quite enjoyable. Visuals are decent, story is decent, and the gameplay is good. If you're looking for a good single-player shooter, this may be for you. If you're looking for a good multiplayer shooter, this may also be yours. Multiplayer is pretty good and a lot of fun.
Rain of Fire.
Not Rain of Fire.
3 campaigns, single and multiplayer.
Yep. 3 campaigns, single, and multiplayer. That's what we get from that clue. Any guesses, chat?
And they're all based on movies.
Every one of these was a movie franchise first, and it is now here's a video game adaptation of that thing. Yes.
Okay. I just gotta clear out the pipes. Resident Evil 6. I know doesn't fit that exactly, but
And that does not fit at all. It's not Resident Evil 6.
I just 3 different campaigns with single
I
and
get where you want
multiplayer.
the campaigns. Yeah. All right, clue number 2. Any gamer who enjoys stealth-type gameplay that involves turning invisible or crawling on walls in the darkness to stalk your prey is going to have a hell good time with this one. Fans of the movie should also enjoy this bloody, satisfying sci-fi adventure, misspelled sci-fi.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
It is not Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Chad, give me a guess. Any gamer who enjoys stealth-type gameplay that involves turning invisible or crawling on walls in the darkness to stalk your prey is going to have a hell good time with this one. Fans of the movie should also enjoy this bloody, satisfying sci-fi adventure. So many commas in that also. There's a comma after basically every word.
I can't
Just a
think of
guess.
any. Predator Hunting Grounds.
I will give it to you. It is in that franchise. That is not the exact game. So, Cozy, if you can tell me the exact game that is in that franchise, you'll steal. If not, Chad will get 2 points.
My next guess was going to be Riddick. I was going to guess it was Riddick. What is it? Assault
Is that
on
what you
Butcher
want to give
Bay.
me? Is that the guess you want to give me?
No, because now I know it's Predator. That's what it was going to be before Chad guessed Predator. Fuck. I'm going to say, Alien versus Predator.
For what system?
For PlayStation 3 360.
Congratulations, Cozy. You have stolen. It is
Damn it.
AVP for the Xbox 360 and the PS3. It is a 64 on Metacritic. Not bad. It's fine. The last clue was my final score is 9.5 for the following reasons. Human gameplay is hard and boring. Predator gameplay is confusing. High learning curves for the alien species gameplay. Game is too short. Other than that, it's definitely my top 3 favorite Xbox games. I don't care about that graphics. The gameplay is awesome. My favorite was the alien story. It was too short. I beat the alien mode in 2 hours. I definitely recommend this game. It doesn't make any fucking sense, but that's what this person wrote. So congratulations, Cozy. Give yourself 2 points for that.
Ooh.
Also, mainly Brian in the chat. Earlier, we were chatting back and forth about the Resident Evil 4 gameplay. And that is the thing I'm going to talk about. Those controls in that original game are woof. He says, don't call me good Lord. I'll call you whatever I damn well please, sir.
Whoa.
So next, after that, our next game, clue number 1, based off of movie franchises. Horrible game. Public gameplay is terrible and unbalanced. It's okay with friends in private, but for $40, I think not. Go spend your time and money elsewhere and don't believe the fake positive reviews. 0 out of 10.
Whoa.
Horrible
Killer
game.
Clowns from
Public
Outer Space.
gameplay is... Congratulations, Chad. Give yourself 3
Wow.
points. That is
yeah.
a review for Killer Clowns from Outer
Chad,
Space.
can you repeat that review? Sorry, Adam. Can you repeat the review?
Horrible game. Public gameplay is terrible and unbalanced. It's okay with friends in private, but for $40, I think not. Go spend your time and money elsewhere and don't believe the fake positive reviews. 0 out of 10.
I mean, very impressive that Chad got that with
It
those
was the
few clues.
$40
But I mean,
to
those.
me. That's
Yeah,
like nothing's
yeah.
cost $40 until like the last couple of years, last few years.
So,
That
Killer
makes
Clowns
sense.
from Outer Space is a 69 on Metacritic. Here is something very funny. That $40 clue, right? Here's clue number 2. This game is really fun. The game reminds me of Friday the 13th, the game in many ways, and they're all positive. Though I have to remove a point from the score for pricing, I think $30 is too much. 2 different prices already. And then the last one, I love the movie, but when I bought the game, I got the pre-order about $70. It was cool, good graphics, and amazing inspiration, but I didn't like the gameplay. The clowns felt too weak to be fair a game. So 3 different reviews, 3 different prices.
Yep.
No idea why.
No matter what price you paid for it, it wasn't worth it.
They didn't like it, or they loved it. I don't know, Okay. Chad has 3 points because he has 2. Game number 3 of 4. Just a heads up, there's only 2 games left.
Oh my.
Clue number 1. If there's a problem with the game, it's that it offers nothing new to this style of game that hasn't already come from the Boob Raider series. That's not to say it's a bad game. It's a great game.
The Boob Raider series.
By the way, this game didn't have very many user reviews. That's actually an official review from a real reviewer at a website or a magazine.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Well, to my knowledge, I don't think that the Reign of Fire movie had a lot of boobs in it, so I don't think that I can guess Reign of Fire for this one.
Can you give me an actual guess then? If there's a problem with the game, it's that it offers nothing new to the style of game that's already come from the Boob Raider series. That's not to say it's a bad game. It's a great game.
Indiana Jones and the Great
Wanted-
Circle.
Chad, it is an Indiana Jones game, but not the Great Circle. Cozy, if you can tell me the name of this Indiana Jones game, you will steal the points from Chad. If you don't get
Indiana
it.
Jones and the Staff of Kings.
Sorry, it is the Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. The original Xbox Indiana Jones game. I mean, Staff of Kings was the other big one, so you were kind of tossed up between there.
I didn't even know there had previously been an Indiana Jones game before Great Circle. So
there's like 3 or 4 Indiana Jones games. There's a good amount. So the other clues for that, LucasArts did a fine job making this closest thing to a replication of all the movies thrown into a video game. The gameplay is fantastic. The level design is overwhelming at times, and the graphics and sounds make their own positive arguments. And the last one, an underrated classic for fans of blank. The game also has almost no problems except for the inaccurate shooting mechanics. The combat system is great, with players having the choice of many iconic weapons, including machetes, revolvers, and of course the whip. 4 out of 5 stars. So the whip would have gave it away. But yeah, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, a 73 on Metacritic.
I'm looking at the box art for this game. It seems like this is the Indiana Jones adventure where he goes to visit there's like that famous like terracotta army of lifelike soldiers. It seems like he probably goes to some sort of tomb where all those soldiers are hanging
Maybe the
out.
Emperor's Tomb. Here's the thing. I played this game when I was a kid. I borrowed this from my friend and kept it for like 4 months and then played it. And one time I led the entire classroom in singing the Indiana Jones theme song, like in the middle of like 7th grade fucking literature class. And he was like, at the end of the song, he's like, awesome, give me the game back. Like, You're right, Joe. I definitely owe you that. Moving on to our last game. And this one is a little tough. I'll give you that. So if you get this, it's cool. But Cozy has, what is that now, 5?
2.
And Chad has 3. Well, you stole that 3 from Chad.
No, he didn't. You didn't steal Indiana Jones from
me. Oh, no,
me.
he didn't. No. Chad has 6.
6.
Cozy has 2. All right, Cozy, you really need to get this on the first one, but that's fine. We'll see what happens. Last game. First clue. Absolute garbage, barely worth the 150 character minimum to review. Why on earth were they thinking when they released this mess, ... It is far from ready for release. How dare they rush out crap just to make a movie tie-in date when the game is almost entirely broken. Blag. Apparently this person did not like it.
Now we know this can't be E.T. because it's too old.
No, I don't go back that far. No.
The Dark Knight Rises for iPads.
No, it is not Dark Knight Rises. Chad, do you have a guess? Apparently it's very bad. Movie time.
For Xbox
No, it is
360.
not. It's not Dora the Explorer. That movie came out much later. All right. Next clue. Actually, this one has 4 clues because it's so difficult. But anyways, clue number 2 of 4. Blank is not a bad looking or playing video game. It's just forgettable and it has a number of confusing design choices that make the experience disappointing. Just kind of another generic thing about a bad video game. Any more guesses? Movie tie-in, very bad video game from the first 2 that we've read so far.
It's they
very
say
tough,
that
to be honest with you.
back in the early 2000s, Matthew McConaughey had to face the heat in a little game / movie called Reign of Fire.
It is not Reign of Fire.
Damn.
I'm never going to put Reign of Fire because you're always going to guess it.
Is it
What was that,
Bionicle?
Chad? It is not a Bionicle game, no.
Okay.
Clue number 3. Game Republic may throw a whole bestiary of mythological Greco-Roman creatures at the player, but when killing them feels so unremarkable, the end result feels like a lot of wasted effort.
Clash of the Titans.
It is Clash of the Titans, featuring Sam Worthington. That is the video game tie-in that this is. And the last clue, the recent, I would have blanked it. Clash of the Titans film was a mildly entertaining display of special effects. The game contains all the film's can't but lacks the spectacle of $1 million CGI Krakens to help save it. I don't know if you would have got that. Clash of the Titans is a 42 on Metacritic. Just like heads up, guys. Apparently it's an awful video game. So I believe Cozy has
3 points total?
3 or 4. Right.
You got Chad for that.
Chad still wins, so
Chad is the winner. Congratulations, Chad, on doing so. See, you were holding it back. You've always known how to be good at these games. You were just keeping it secret.
Does that mean that this is the end? Are we dying now?
Well, yeah, right. It's our time. That's it.
All right. Thank you for that. And Cozy, do you want to do question of the week?
You know what? Okay, give me a moment. I closed my question of the week document because it seemed like we weren't going to do it.
For that and opening it,
yes.
I will promote Manly Brian's very good chat here that, in quotes, I assume to Adele's song goes, "I set fire to the rain," in response to Cozy.
But it's spelled like
set
rain
fire to the rain.
Brian does it better.
Because we're going a little long, I will give you the opportunity to choose a singular question. Chad, say a whole integer number between 1 and 14.
Between 1 and 14, not including 1 and 14?
Correct.
Oh, God, that limits me so much because, like, 14 is, like, right there, but I have to choose something between those two.
If you want, I'll give you the option to choose 1 or 14 in addition to
now
all
I'm limited to 2. That's even more limiting. Just 1 or 14?
In addition to all the numbers
14,
in between
14.
it.
We'll do 14.
14. Adam, I want you to choose another number between 1 and 14.
1.
14 minus 1 is 13. Question number 13. What toppings do you like to put on cornflakes? Do you ever eat cornflakes?
Is it just brand, like, regular ass cornflakes?
Let's expand this out and say, what toppings do you like to put on any kind of bland, unsugary, generic cereal like cornflakes, but not necessarily limited to cornflakes? If you eat any of those sorts of cereals.
Growing up, basically any cereal was just fodder for more sugar. And so whether you were eating Fruit Loops or Cheerios or
pure
Frosted
granulated
Flakes,
sugar, baby.
Yep, just spoonfuls of sugar out of the big green plastic sugar container. And so it's just sugar. That's it. And milk, of course.
Here's the thing is that they solve the problem where, like, do you want a freeze-dried fruit in there? Well, it already comes with that if you buy that brand. I'm with personally, I never had anything, but the one thing people in my family would add would be like, yep, you'd get the plastic container that you poured the sugar into instead of just keeping it in the paper container, and you'd put that on top of your cereal, and that was it. I've never seen people do like the honey and fucking chocolate. I've never seen people do it, but not my family. I mean,
it's not too much from like I'm sure it's delicious, but like it's cereal. You're trying too hard. If you want, the honey and the fresh fruit and all, like, go make fucking breakfast.
Look, I solved this problem. I don't really eat a lot of cereal anymore because I'm an adult man. But if I do buy cereal, I buy some more cereal because I'm like, just give me the chocolate, give me the marshmallows, give me the bullshit. If I'm going to do this is how I'm going to do it. So I don't even have to add it. It's already in there.
Reading this question out loud made me realize that, I've not eaten cornflakes in quite some time, let alone most cereals. I mean, when I used to eat cornflakes in the past, I'd put some banana on there. I'd put some blueberries on there. Generally, I kind of kept it limited to the realm of fruit and not much else. I was generally not the kind of person. What I will do is I will take some cereal with like a moderate amount of sugar in it, and I'll like mix in just some like plain cocoa powder. So like without any extra sugar, just to give it that like slight chocolatey taste without making it overly
Nesquik? You put Nesquik
unhealthy.
in that shit?
No. Like unsweetened cocoa powder.
You just want to color brown? That's it.
I want to give it that chocolatey taste, but I don't want to make it horrendously unhealthy for me. You know what I mean? I want it's like non-alcoholic beer. You want the sensation, but you don't want it to lead you to a bad place. But I generally did not do that with cornflakes. On
that note, y'all heard of this seltzer that tastes hoppy? Like it tastes like beer, but it's seltzer, and it's like far fewer. So my friend's brother was like offered it to me last Thanksgiving. He's like, "Hey, you want one of these hoppy seltzers?" And I was like, that defeats the whole, like, you drink, beer tastes bad. Like, you drink the beer because it gets you drunk and it's fun and you can have it in higher quantities than liquor. And then now you're taking away all of the fun parts of beer, and it's just, like, not even alcoholic seltzer. It's just regular ass seltzer water that tastes like the bad part of beer. It's dumb.
Yeah. And that's it for Cozy's question of the week.
That's it for Cozy's question of the week. Definitely not the KKK. And we don't have a game on Game Show this week, but we did just play a game and answer a question, so shove it. Then that brings us to the end of episode 412 of Respawn Aim Fire. Thank you for listening, everyone. Here's your homework, because you gotta. Your homework is to go play a bunch of games, because we've all found out we're going for Barf for Game of the Year for Pody Goaties. We're all going to play Dispatch, it sounds like, probably. I'm playing Hell Is Us and Sea of Stars, and Cozy's already played The Altar, so now he's got time to play whatever else he's going to play, and Joel's playing
Dispatch.
Yeah, Joel's playing Dispatch. Adam's playing something, I don't remember.
Shinobi.
And Dispatch.
I'm also... I meant to bring it up earlier when you were talking about Pokemon Legends ZA, Chad. I also just purchased and downloaded Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm going to be playing it on the plane to Slovenia. I'm excited to have a fun time with that one.
We got the rhythm in our butts. Boom, boom, boom. While you're there over at patreon.com/respawningfire, checking out all of the games that you voted on, you can also go there and for the next 20 days, get exclusive access to our last After Dark, which was, what is it? What's the title of it again? I lost the tab.
Something about sex crosses and Wikipedia or something.
Sexually suggestive cross, or no, sensual cross. We didn't want to use the word sex.
I am continue filibustering. I'm pulling up the video.
So yeah, something about some sexy crosses and like some rabbit holes, and those are not mutually exclusive. Maybe there are rabbit holes that we go down about crosses.
I didn't call it sexual crosses because I didn't want to get shadow banned on YouTube. Instead, it is called scandalous crosses and Wikipedia rabbit holes. On this month's episode of After Dark, the crew learn about a very particular kind of cross, go down a Wikipedia rabbit hole about former PlayStation mascot Kevin Butler, and discuss which terrible video game movie we should watch next.
There you go.
Go check it out.
So despite the word scandalous being in the title, it is not referencing the William H. Macy TV show filmed in the south side of Chicago called Scandal. It is instead this episode talking about crosses that can and cannot be used for the Antichrist or Jesus or anything in between, because we talk about a third option. Anyway, that's it. Go check that out. And then if you're not a patron, you now get access to Manly Brian's Toilet Graveyard episode, which is just phenomenal. It's fantastic. So go listen to that. It's free for everyone on YouTube and podcast services now as last month's After Dark episode. Things are probably going to look a little bit different next week. Cozy's going to be in Yugoslavia, boom shaboom, Czechoslovakia, boom shaboom. We got the
I'm going to be in the capital city of Ljubljana.
Oh, Lugia.
Ljubljana.
Ho-oh. Hope you find a good ho-oh over in Lugia. So yeah, Adam and I haven't really talked about this, but like maybe we'll do a duo episode. Maybe we'll bring on a guest. Maybe we'll take a week off next week. Who knows? And then also got Thanksgiving. Just stay flexible, everyone. That's your homework. Stay flexible.
I want to issue a correction. It's not Ljubljana. It's actually Ljubljana, spelt Ljbljana, but the J's are pronounced like Y's.
Illuminati's in Chicago.
Exactly.
Chicago Deep Ljubljana. Papa John's. Great. Love it.
That's it.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, here's our usual sign off. Czechoslovakia, boom shaboom. Yugoslavia, boom shaboom.